Hey guys, what's up? Scotch Duck here once again. Right, this video had to be made. Okay, it was coming. It definitely was coming, and that is going to be a review of this game right here, Splatoon 2 for the Switch. Now, under normal circumstances, obviously this video would have been coming. A game comes out, I play it for a wee bit, I'll do a little video talking about it. That's kind of how I've always went, although I think it's been a while since I did like a dedicated video on reviewing a game. But regardless, that's typically how I roll, But yeah, this is like a bit more different this time almost, because I'm really addicted to this game, okay? And I want to like hammer this in, okay? And anybody that knows me personally, or you guys that have been around the channel for a few years will know this too. Me getting into a sort of like multiplayer focused game, let alone a shooting game, which Splatoon 2 technically is extremely rare, okay? I guess I'm just the type of person that likes playing a game, beating it, and be done with it, to say, oh yeah, I've beaten that, honestly. That's why I hate like having curse games so much, like getting through a game, especially a long RPG, not finishing it, it's the worst feeling ever for me. Not the worst feeling ever, but you get what I mean, okay? So, when it comes to games like this, where there's technically a single-player campaign, albeit a short one, we'll get into that in a minute, but, a really big online service like behind it, I'm usually just like, yeah, I'll play it for a wee bit, bung it air, and that's it. But no, I'm addicted to this game. I played it like every night last week coming in from work, didn't turn it off until I went to bed, and yeah, it's showing no signs of slowing down, honestly. So I want to talk about it here for sure, but I guess first I'll talk about the first one here. Now, this game right here, Splatoon 1, is a definitive example of a game that I respect a lot more than I like, and you can have that with games, definitely. Now, what's there to respect with Splatoon 1? Well, I love the fact that Nintendo's, at the time, new console, the Wii U, needed some, like, good new games for it, so Nintendo, in like a moment of rareness, I guess, went ahead and published like a new IP. And again, they do have like a new IP every once in a while, but whenever it does come, sometimes it can be hit and miss. Like, who remembers Codename Steam? Anybody? Yeah, that was kind of didn't really go anywhere. But yeah, they announced this, and not only that, but it was like one of their first forays, I guess, into online like shooting games and stuff. And yeah, there was a few little hiccups with it, like the lack of voice chat. A lot of people were a bit upset about that. But they went for it, and they pushed it really hard, they really put a lot into this game, and I really love the fact that it was a service, the fact that for like an entire year, Nintendo was like drip feeding content into this game, new maps, new weapons, like just new everything. And the Splatfests, which were kind of like these little two topics going head to head, and you could choose a team, and that was that, and at no extra cost, in this day and age of microtransactions, season passes, day one DLC, and all such other fucking bullshit, Nintendo was like, no, you can have it for nothing. I guess controversially, the game was a bit bare at launch, but obviously you look at it now, there's loads to it, definitely. And they're trying to like put that over with Splatoon 2 as well, obviously. But yeah, and what makes it all so much nicer, really, is that it kind of paid off. This right here is actually if VG charts is to be trusted, which sometimes they can't be, the 5th best-selling game on the Wii U. Now, obviously, with the Wii U's like install base, that's not too impressive, but considering it is a Nintendo console and it was up there with the likes of like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, it's still pretty fucking impressive, It caught on, and people are now big Splatoon fans. So when Splatoon 2 got announced, my reaction was immediately neutral, because it's like, yeah, that makes sense, I'll probably play it. And I didn't buy it day one, I kind of waited like, I want to say a week or something, and I kind of just saw it in the shops. I'm like, I'm still not getting much use out of my Switch, because I played Breath of the Wild mostly on the Wii U. Mario Kart 8, barely touched that, because I kind of barely touched it on the Wii U as well, to be honest. And ARMS also barely touched that. I don't know, couldn't really be bothered putting much time into those games. But this one, I figured it would have the same fate, really. But no, I'm playing it all the time. I'm playing it, and it's really fun, you know? Like, I guess I should talk about it a little bit. It's a game where you play as, like, squid lollies and you're cutting about, or squid shotas. Is that what young boys get called? Shotas? The opposite of lolly? I don't know. Anyway, and yeah, instead of like shooting shit, you're squirting your ink all about the place, and you know, that's pretty much it. You know, it's all about squirting your ink, and it works really well, you know? You aim with like motion controls and you can turn them off if you want, and that really comes in handy. Like it's, I was kind of a non-believer with Splatoon 1, but now I'm just like, yeah, you gotta go with the motion controls. And yeah, there's really not much more to it than that. There's a single player, but like in Splatoon 1, it's actually a little bit better than in Splatoon 1. Splatoon 1's was very short, kind of felt very tacked on, even though they had like a nice little... They attempted like a sort of lore and story mode with like Octarians, which were kind of like octopuses, you know, it was very squids versus octopus in that like storyline. But yeah, it didn't really amount too much, and again, it's the same with Splatoon 2. It's a little bit longer, I'd say, but much the same. So definitely the focus of the game lies in the multiplayer, and the multiplayer is pretty much the same as well. You can honestly call this Splatoon 1.5. I wasn't too versed in Splatoon 1, but even me, with the little I played, I'm still gonna say that, you know, you can play turf mode, which is all about not necessarily shooting other enemies in a deathmatch style arena, but covering as much of the terrain in your own ink as possible. And I really love that mode. It came from Splatoon 1, was the most popular thing in Splatoon 1 if I'm not mistaken. And it's a good way of like, if you're shite at shooting things and killing other opponents, you can kind of just like cover the map in your own ink as much as possible, and it makes things very unpredictable, you know. It's not necessarily a sort of skill thing. A lot can happen as you're running about trying to squirt as much ink, but also trying to avoid other fire as much as possible. And there's some like ranked match stuff, like their own little takes on capture the flag and whatnot. It's not entirely like that, but they can get pretty intense for sure. I think like the only main thing that's like different from Splatoon 1 to this one is Salmon Run, and Salmon Run is a lot of fun. It's like basically a horde mode. I only call it horde mode because that's what everybody calls it. Gears of War 2 started it. You know, you, 4 other people, you start like taking on hordes of enemies that come your way, and Splatoon's got their own take on that. It works really well, it's fine, but it really is the only main thing that separates it from the first, in all honesty. That and the fact that you can only play it at certain times, I funnily enough don't mind that too much, but it's very odd regardless, because if it's not on I tend to just play the multiplayer anyway, and when it is on I'll definitely play Salmon Run, but yeah. Not too much to say beyond that. I'm just very pleased to say that this was a surprise for me, you know. I do not play on multiplayer games, I just don't. It's just the thing that I do, you know, but Nintendo has their ways, I guess. So yeah, Splatoon 2, if you've got a Switch, fucking go for it. That's it. Go play with like the squids and shit, and I don't know how to end videos. See yous after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.